field. Going, see ya!
Welcome to the Florida League,
where Florida summer baseball comes alive.
I'm Berkleigh Mezzanotte.
And I'm Kathleen Moore.
And this week in the Florida League, walk-off hits,
top plays,
future stars,
and the storylines that you won't want to miss.
Welcome to Florida League Extra Innings. What is up, Florida League fans? I'm Berkleigh Mezzanotte alongside Kathleen Moore. We just got done with our first week of full games.
Absolutely. Episode 2 of Extra Innings is going to kick off right now, and I think we should just go ahead and jump into our weekly recap from our very first full week of games.
Monday brought a Dogs win over Winter Garden, rain to Sanford, and a commanding 12-5 Leesburg victory over the Snappers.
Tuesday saw the Snaps take down the Dogs. Lightning defeats the Suns, and the Rats, with the biggest gap of the day, beating the Squeeze 6-2.
Wednesday, the Squeeze bounced back after a tough Tuesday outing to defeat the Suns on the road 5-3.
Thursday, the Dogs took Game 1 versus the Suns. Leesburg went into Sanford for a 10-4 victory, and the Squeeze strike first and beat the Snaps 11-6.
Friday, the Dogs secured the series versus DeLand, and Leesburg did the same versus the Rats. And the Snappers barely hung on to keep their series with the Squeeze tied 1-1.
Saturday, the Dogs get the sweep over DeLand. The Snappers secure the series versus the Squeeze, and Leesburg shuts down the Rats 12-0. It's been a very full week here in the Florida League, and you know what? Honestly, every team is looking like they have some pretty strong moments, although there's some ups and downs. Sanford with that 16-2 victory over Winter Garden, but then losing, getting shut out 16-0 by Leesburg. I mean, what's going on?
Leesburg has been on a 5-game winning streak right now. It's been absolutely lights out for them playing against anybody, so it's been awesome to watch. Diamond Dogs have finally caught a winning streak right now with the sweep that they just had. So, I mean, it's kind of pretty even in the league.
Right. Things are looking very open. Orlando's been staying strong with a victory over Winter Garden, and they took that series as well. So it'll be really exciting to see how things shape up as the rest of the summer continues, and we get to see more players coming in.
Yep. It's pretty strong on every single team. There's some big bats, really good pitching. So, like I said, it's pretty even keel.
Yeah, it's very exciting. But now I want to go ahead and set up a new segment that we're doing, highlighting Florida League prospects. In the Florida League, we used to do a prospect showcase back when there weren't necessarily a ton of guys in the portal undecided looking for a new landing spot, but obviously in the culture that we're in now, NIL's changed the game.
Yeah, and the transfer portal has been pretty big too. I mean, all the guys are joking. They're like, hey, I'm in transfer university, and I'm like, yeah, 100% acceptance rate right now, so.
That's so funny. But we asked all of our coaches to nominate 2 to 3 of their players that are in the transfer portal, undecided, again, looking for a new home, and they're going to kind of highlight them now. So let's cut to them.
Ty Kennedy, what value does he add to the Snappers this summer, and what value can he add to any team that he gets picked up by in college?
Ty adds versatility. He can play all 3 infield positions. Right-handed hitter, has some power. Again, like all of these guys, I mean, stuff that they have to work on, but he has a high baseball IQ, loves playing the game. And again, the versatility, I think, is something that can add value to any program.
Right now, for sure, I know that we've got Shane Thomas, who's an outfielder that also has caught in the past switch hitter, as well as Akil Numala, a right-handed hidden first baseman. So both those guys are 6'3", 6'4". Shane being a switch hitter, and Akil being a power right-handed bat, provide kind of some of the instant offense. In terms of, I think Shane right now, going into the game, is leading the league in hitting. And Akil is really close to just being unlocked. Was a huge prospect coming out of high school, and one that is going to make somebody very happy. So it's one Shane being able to catch a little bit behind the plate is going to open up some doors for him too. But it's a fluid line drive swing from both sides.
Right. What kind of relationship do you have with these guys?
Both those guys are phenomenal kids. It's one that personally I get to have my son in the dugout and trust both those men with my little guy. So they're phenomenal people on top of being good baseball players, which again makes it very easy to say Shane Thomas and Akil Namale.
So the first guy is our catcher, Drew Pines. I think you guys have seen his ability to swing the bat, and he's a middle of the order bat with some power, and has improved a lot behind the plate. Junior college kid who's looking for a four-year school. There's been some teams here to see him the last couple of nights, and so he's a guy. Catching is a commodity in baseball now, and especially one that can really hit. And so I think he's probably the first guy that I think of automatically that will go someplace and make an impact immediately. Second guy that I can think of, Nick Upperman, center fielder, really tooled up guy, can really run, is got some really good arm strength in center field. I think that FIU is on it pretty hard in a couple other places, and so he's a guy that can steal some bases. I think he had maybe 30 plus bags this year, and so I think he's a guy that is instant offense for a team, and so I think he's a guy that fits that profile too.
Right. Can you speak to, especially Drew Pines? I know you guys kind of go way back in the Florida League, at least. What kind of people are they, like off the field?
Oh, Drew's a great kid. Like, he went to Timber Creek High School, and his high school coach was one of my great friends, and so I've been competing against him for many years, and that's how he ended up here. And he's just a quality human. He's a fun guy to be around, and he loves to play, and he doesn't really ever get too uptight, which is a good thing in baseball, right? And so, but as far as a person, I treat him like he's my own kid, and he handles me well, and he's a great teammate.
Right.
You guys like being around him.
That's awesome. Are there any specific skills or traits that make these players valuable members of your team? Not necessarily just the programs they came from, but how have they impacted the River Rats?
I mean, they've all been really good for us. They've been in the lineup and played every game, and so we kind of do it a little differently. Like, we split the games and stuff and give everybody opportunities early. But those guys are the guys. They're leaders, and that's something that we always struggle in the summer to find is somebody who's going to take a leadership role. And they've been around enough to know like that's part of it. I don't want to call them veterans just yet, but they're a couple years of experience has helped.
Yeah, first one's Javi. He's a shortstop, second baseman, but played shortstop, I believe, at HCC this past year. He's there. He's a switch hitter, middle infielder. What more can you ask for? Great kid, good bat to ball skills. He does a lot of things right that you want for that position. The other one would be Edwin Melendez, catcher. He's in the portal from, I believe, Georgia Southwestern. Really good behind the plate, controls the pitching staff very well, and is always a threat at the plate. He's got some good raw power to him, so when he connects with the ball, it's going to be hit really hard. And then the last one is Josh Aller. He's a left-handed hitting first baseman. The kid can really hit. He can really hit. He's hit basically his whole career, and just a guy that you want in your lineup because he's going to help move some things around and score some runs for you. As far as hobby, just because it's one of those things, as a recruiter, I've coached college for 14 years, and when you find a middle infielder, especially one that can hit from the left side, it's so valuable because it allows you to kind of mix and match your lineup a little bit. It takes away that advantage of having a left on left or a right on right type thing, and again, just kind of with how he can move the baseball and really hit the ball where he wants it, but also has some power in him now too. So that's just something that you can't ever pass up as far as a college coach.
Right. So I know that you recruited all of these players to your team for the summer, but now that the summer's kind of gotten going, you've played a couple of games at this point. What have you seen from them so far?
Great chemistry. They're extremely fun to be around. Last night we had a very tough loss. Obviously wasn't anything that you kind of want to go through as a player, losing 16-2, but even then, they were still actively engaged. Like, I've seen teams where you're in big loss situations like that, and you can kind of see everyone check out, where these guys were always engaged. They've come together as a team. Like, they've been great with each other. So it's been fun to kind of watch it happen and just be around them. Like, just funny group of guys.
As you can see, there's so much to highlight around the Florida League and so many players hitting the portal, especially in the next few weeks. But I want to take a moment to talk about some of the athleticism that we're seeing on these rosters, especially with these junior college players.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that junior college is not underrated. There is a lot of talent, especially the junior colleges in the state of Florida. It's so competitive. The pipeline to get them ready for four-year universities is insane, and we have so many on different teams in the league this summer, and it's like a lot of talent.
Absolutely. I mean, it shows pretty clearly every single time you come to a ballpark, watch a game. But you know what time it is. It's time for play-by-play calls of the week. Our communication staff has been sending in even more creative, even more exciting play-by-play calls. So let's go to that ranking now.
We'll fire the 2-2. Right down Broadway. A strikeout looking for Payson Garcia, and he puts up another 0 for the Squeeze. Heading to the bottom of the 7th, Snappers still lead 8-5.
See Keith holding on the bump here with bases loaded and no outs. Zach flying to center field. Justice Mike tagging up. Play at the plate coming in. 9 time. Dogs win. Dogs win.
Inning underway. Marszewicz grounds the first one. Diving stop by Devin Crown. Throw over to first. In time. What a play by Devin Crown. Diamond Dogs are scoreless. That one left field. Hanging up for Esmondo. Diving play made. Mason takes it off the grass.
And Keller hits that one into left center. It's going back, and it's gone! How about that? Welcome back to Leesburg, Charlie Keller. And for that, that is the 300th home run in the history of the Leesburg Lightning. How about that?
Thank you again to the communication staff for sending in all of your great calls. It's been so fun to watch you guys get even more creative with it.
And if you guys haven't been paying attention, Winter Garden Squeeze got a brand new logo, brand new look, brand new jersey, brand new everything. So let's toss it over to Zach Moore for the information.
I'm Zach Moore, your voice of the Squeeze, and I'm here with a very special guest, Mr. Scott Brown. Now, Scott, before we start, just introduce yourself and what you mean for the Squeeze.
Well, my name is Scott Brown, as you say. I'm the president of the Mordecai Brown Legacy Foundation. But for me, more importantly than that, I'm part of the Winter Garden Squeeze as a board member, and I support everything the team does. We just love what they're doing in this community.
And you were actually one of the people behind the new jerseys. Just talk to me a little bit about the new design and how that came to fruition.
Well, I have to say it's been a great team effort for the redesign of the new jerseys and the hats. As you'll see our new logo, we really wanted to be more a part of the community that we're in right now. As most know, we're playing at Horizon West High School, and their colors are purple and orange. So to be a part of this new part of Winter Garden, we decided to change our colors for at least the next coming seasons. But better than that, we wanted to be a part of Winter Garden's baseball history. Thus, we went back to some old school style.
And yeah, you mentioned the history. Is that with the new Squeeze logo on the purple?
Absolutely,
the purple logo, yeah. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it's kind of the swish design. We went harken back to our history with the Washington Senators when all of their spring training was done with their minor league teams back in the late 40s, early 50s. And so to give just honor and credence to them, we decided to design the Squeeze logo in much the way the Washington Senators logo was back during that historic period.
And just how special is it for the Squeeze to return to Horizon West for the second year?
Well, if you haven't been out, I encourage you to come out and see all of your neighbors that set up in Tent City. We have sponsors, we have folks that come out and spend time with their kids, their families. We have seen no better turnout than this season. It is so fun to be with families and business owners and civic leaders. We just have a great time out here. It is a slice of Winter Garden here on the baseball field.
Once again, I'm Zach Moore, your voice of the Squeeze, alongside the special, Scott Brown. Thank you.
Everything's pretty awesome over at Winter Garden right now with the brand new logo and everything. So, I mean, they're rocking the new jerseys.
Totally. I love to see it. The purple, very cool. But we have another full week of baseball ahead of us, Berkleigh. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at next week's preview. Monday, the Dogs host the Rats. The Suns head back to Orlando, and Leesburg travels into Winter Garden.
Tuesday, the Snappers are back on the road in Leesburg for redemption, while the Suns and Rats have a doubleheader at Conrad Park, and the Dogs head to Horizon take on the Squeeze.
Thursday, the Dogs will host the Snappers, and the Squeeze will head down to Sanford Memorial, while the Lightning hosts the Suns.
Friday, we will see Game 2 of the weekend series with the Squeeze in Sanford, the Dogs in Orlando, and the Lightning visiting the Suns.
Finally, rounding out Week 2, the Squeeze hosts the Rats, the Snaps host the Dogs, and the Suns host the Lightning. Well, now that we've taken a look ahead, I want to talk about some matchups that we can't wait to see. Personally, I'm looking forward to Tuesday because the Orlando Snappers are going to be playing Leesburg in Leesburg, and both of those teams have been absolutely electric lately. I think it's going to be such a fun matchup to watch.
I'm looking forward to the weekend series of the DeLand Suns and Leesburg because they have a lot of fire under them. They both have really talented teams, so that's going to be a really awesome weekend series to see.
It sounds like we're both just really excited to watch Leesburg play. I don't know what it is about that team this summer, but I'm liking what I see. But now we want to go ahead and go back to some of our coaches and kind of go back to that NIL conversation and how it's sort of changed the way that they've approached coaching a summer ball league.
Well, I mean, first of all, like it's way different to deal with because every day there's 1,000 kids going into the portal and they're all trying to find a place and maybe trying to get a paycheck, which is bizarre, right? We're supposed to be amateurs, but we're still getting paid. So for me, it changes things because I have to do what's in the best interest of the player sometimes versus what's in the best interest of the team. If somebody shows up and says, hey, I'm coming to see, this guy today, then I need to have him out there and give them an opportunity to see him. And, sometimes the matchup doesn't always play. If we're facing a lefty and a guy's a left-handed hitter, like normally I wouldn't really do that. But if there's somebody here to see them, then usually I put them in the game. And, I deal with advisors, okay, I guess they're quoted as, but they're agents, right? And so I deal with those guys on a regular basis. And, you got to speak truthfully about guys and sometimes you have a relationship with them, sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, you always have to be honest with whoever's here because you don't want to try to sell them something that's not true.
Right? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'll just say that. I mean, I've been on the flip side where I had lost guys because of the transfer portal, especially late in the summer where it's difficult to replace them and difficult to find them. But that is kind of the landscape of college baseball at this point, unfortunately. So, that is one thing that I ask these guys is first and foremost, they have to communicate with their coaches. Like that is one thing that I know that, if I was having a player leave, I would want to know because I got to replace that player. So it's a tricky situation in the sense of that. And it's always nice as a coach, as a college coach, to have someone that is loyal to you, to have someone that's, going to stick around because, they believed in you, they had faith in you and everything else. So, hopefully that kind of swings back around at some point. I know everything always kind of comes full circle, so I'm hoping for that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
That was great.
Yeah.
I love that. Now, obviously, the NIL and the transfer portal landscape has changed drastically over the last couple of years here. How has that changed how you approach coaching in a summer league like this, where a lot of the guys are in the portal, are looking for a new landing spot?
The best part that then this league does provide is about the 40 days for them to be able to go out, showcase themselves. The league's done a tremendous job of them being able to live stream and be able to provide some of the data points that places are looking for. So having them being able to get out, get back on the field and showcase what they can do there as a coach and coaching that is one that trying to instill some of those principles of, show your best attitude, bring your best effort, communicate well with one another, and then in and throughout the game, hold each other accountable. And so being able to take those traits in and through the summer, have the chance to come out and play baseball every day here in the state of Florida, which is really good competition. It's where it provides that benchmark for places to be able to make it easy to make those transitions.
Right. And I got a quick follow-up for you. If you were a scout coming to one of these games to watch these two players that you mentioned, what would you be looking for? What would stand out about that player to you?
What would stand out coming in the scout? First against size is going to be important, and they both kind of have those. With Shane, it's a frame that's still going to be able to add probably 20 pounds, but one that both have some raw ability still left in the tank. So you're not necessarily getting a fully finished product. Somebody that still has some projection in there. With Shane, you're going to get a line drive approach, stays through the middle of the field, has some double power, and then can run the bases well. Yeah. Guys already double bags on the season for us. And again, defensively the other night showed you can handle it behind the plate. So it's another trick in his arsenal there. With Akil, again, it's a big time power bat that some of the metric numbers are going to show really well. He's had a couple so far, even at the land, that were close to triple digit exit velos. So it's going to be one that's going to be the wow factor. But the fact is, then at first base defensively, it's not your regular typical, let's just put a slugger at first base. He's going to be able to handle it defensively there as well, and so there's the versatility piece.
NIL has obviously changed the game when it comes to college sports. There are its ups, there are its downs, but we're stuck with it no matter how you feel about NIL, right, Berkleigh?
Yeah, definitely.
But that's going to be all the time we have left for this second episode of Florida League Extra Innings. Be sure to follow the Florida Collegiate Summer League on all social media platforms. But for now, I've been Kathleen Moore alongside Berkleigh Mezzanotte. Have a good one.